Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Warp Ring Podcast, where we talk about all things Sonic, classic, and modern alike.
I'm Fernando.
I'm Emily.
I'm Grayson. Barton, that's your cue.
I already said it.
Oh, well, it didn't go
Here.
through.
So it's first Fernando, then Emily, then Grayson, and
Yeah, so just say your name.
Redo?
We were totally prepared for this, as you can tell.
Yeah.
That's as good as an intro as we're ever going to get, so we're keeping that.
Alright, so I guess we should start off with, introductions about, how we all came to know the Sonic franchise. And I'll start. Again, I'm Fernando, and started off with, back in 4th grade, I think, in elementary school. Someone let me borrow a copy of Sonic Mega Collection on GameCube. And initially, I hated that. I hated, all the classic games on there. I hated Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, because, I was, one of those kids that thought anything 2D was bleh. And, but like, even then, like, after I played that game and, like, never played it, like, again for, like, years, like, something still, like, stuck with me about, like, the character itself of Sonic, So whenever, I think, like, 2 years later, I was at a Toys R Us, and I had seen Sonic Adventure DX, for the GameCube, on the shelf, and I had my parents buy it for me, and whenever I played it on my GameCube, I just fell in love with that game. Like, I just played it, like, every day, it was like, something else, the music especially. I remember the music making a really big impression on me whenever I played that game, and so from then on, that was what got me to the franchise, and I pretty much played every single game from up to that point until I played, I think it was Sonic and the Secret Rings. Whenever I finished that game, for some reason I decided that I was like bored of Sonic for a while, and so for around like 5 years, until Sonic Colors came out, I never even like touched the series again until like whenever the trailer for Colors came out, it like reinvigorated my sort of like the reason why I liked Sonic in the first place, like the the high speed action. I didn't have a PS3 or an Xbox, so I didn't play Unleashed, so that might have been why I like was so like surprised by Sonic Colors, because I didn't really have a platform to play Unleashed on, because I only had a Wii, and so from then on it's been a constant, thing for me, Sonic franchise. And yeah.
So,
I feel like that thing about thinking that all the 2D games are bad, which is kind of a thing, like,
yeah.
around the time 3D games were coming out, because, if it's not 3D, it's not relevant.
Because
Everything
3D
gotta
was
be
more
3D because the
mainstream.
3D is the future.
in those days.
Yeah, because around that time I was playing games like, like the Spyro games. I was playing, the 3D Mario games that had come out. And I was also playing what was I playing? Yeah, I was just playing a lot of like GameCube games pretty much, and so I was never really exposed to like 2D gameplay besides I think like the original Mario Brothers for the NES, but besides that, it was like I never even touched a 2D game before. I played a Mega Collection, so
One question:
Yeah.
Did the 3D Mario series affected your love for Sonic?
I can't really remember how I felt about 2D Mario back then, like in relation to like Sonic, but I guess I'll say that I sort of like back then, whenever I would play, like if I played a 2D game, like 2D Mario or 2D Sonic, I usually enjoyed like 2D Mario a little more, even though I still wasn't really fond of those back then. But yeah.
Okay. You're like
And I guess we'll take it over. Oh, what's up?
3D Mario though. Like you said, you were playing like the 3D games too.
Yeah, because like I was exposed more to uh like GameCube, 3D games. Yeah, like I said, like the Mario games, and like I had played Mario 64 back then too, and so yeah. And whenever I played Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube, that sort of like was a new was a new thing because it had like a soundtrack that I never heard before in any other 3D games. It had a very how do you describe it? Like a very rocking soundtrack, a very worldly soundtrack, and the aesthetics of Sonic Adventure was like so different from the other games I had played back then. So that was pretty much why it made an impression on me, Sonic Adventure DX, and why it's still probably like one of my favorite 3D games.
Yeah, it is one of the best.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the soundtrack is godly. Like it's the best soundtrack we ever have in the Sonic series.
Yeah, I agree. I really do.
That
All right.
one, Heroes, I think.
Yeah, I played Heroes like right after Sonic Adventure DX too. I didn't play Sonic Adventure 2 until like 3 or 4 years later after DX. And so, with that note, we should probably take it over to you, Emily. What are your
Okay. So my introduction to the franchise was it's very messy, but okay. So the first thing that I actually remember from this franchise, like the earliest going way back, is the Macca's toys from like when Sonic Heroes came out, and they
the
had
McDonald the
yeah.
McDonald's ones? Yeah, the LCD ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was into those. I had like the Cream, Knuckles, and Shadow ones. I actually still have two of Cream now. I don't know what happened to Knuckles and Shadow, but I didn't really know much about Sonic back then. I just thought that the toys were cute, so I collected them. And then I got my DS in 2005, and the free game, it came with Nintendogs, but the free game that it came with was Sonic Rush, and I loved it. It was so addictive. The first four characters I was ever exposed to were obviously, in that case, Sonic, Blaze, Tails, and Cream. And I just thought the designs were really cool. Sonic gave off this really rad vibe that I just came to love. And it had like really fun gameplay. It was hard though, because I was playing it when I was 6, I think, or 7. So yeah, it still is hard today though. I can't collect all the Soul Emeralds, so
I've got a question actually.
yeah.
Since you said your first game was Sonic Rush, and Sonic Rush was the first game to implement, the boost formula, would you
Yeah.
think you have like a bias towards like the boost games? Since
Oh my
like, the boost,
gosh.
since the
That's
boost
a
was like your
hard
first like exposure.
question. That's a hard question because I love the adventure formula as well. See, I can't really choose because I played. So my first game was Sonic Rush, but then I took a break after that, and then I because I was really young, and then I played Unleashed after that. I really liked, because Unleashed was kind of mixed. It sort of had the boost for the daytime stages, and I'm pretty sure the Werehog used a different formula. I'm one of the very few that actually don't hate the Werehog gameplay. So, and then I went on to playing like the Storybook series and all those other games. So yeah,
Okay.
I don't really have a bias.
You played a sequel, like Sonic Rush Adventure, I think it was called.
No, oh my god, I haven't played that one. That's oh yeah, no, I haven't played it. I've
It's
watched
fun. That's the.
playthroughs.
It's funny. That's the one Sonic game I haven't played yet either.
Yeah, no, I haven't played. See, I haven't played the classic games, which kind of is, I don't know, which is kind of weird because a lot of people have played the classic games.
Didn't play Mania?
I have played Mania. That's the only one I have played.
Okay.
Mania is the only one I've played, but not like Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and Knuckles. And I haven't played the spin-offs. I haven't played the classic spin-offs.
I have played Sonic Rush Adventure, but I actually haven't played the original like Sonic Rush. To be honest.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I just never owned it. I never had a chance to play it.
Yeah. See, I fell in love with the music in Rush as well. It
Yeah,
gives
Rush has a
me
great soundtrack.
Jet Set radio vibes.
Just
Yeah,
that, but Michael Jackson.
I can tell you're a fan of both.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think Michael Jackson had involvement with Sonic 3, Martin.
There were some reused like songs from Michael Jackson that were kind of remixed. I think that's stuff because just type
That
Sonic
was
Rush.
in 3 Knuckles.
Yeah, that was Sonic 3 Knuckles.
Yeah, but go to YouTube and search Sonic Rush Michael Jackson. There are some similarities for some songs.
Really?
I think mostly because the composer for Sonic Rush uses a lot of samples for his compositions, so that probably why. But yeah, speaking of the Sonic Rush soundtrack, I think like JJ Rock is probably my favorite song on there.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, after around like the 2010, 11 year, I kind of took a break from the franchise, and then I came back at the end of 2011 because, okay, if you guys feel weird talking about shipping, then this will be very weird. One girl in my class was a massive fan of Son Amy, and I instantly became trash after that. So like my whole life was dedicated to Son Amy after that. It isn't really now because it's, weirdly enough, I've pushed Son Amy and most shipping aside because, yeah. But if I was to, I were to ship now, if I still do low-key ship now, but I'm more of a Shad Amy girl now than a Son Amy one. So I kind of wouldn't expect my loyalties to lie there back when I was 12. Yeah.
I have no problem with shippings, but it's just that Sega just doesn't care, so I never felt anything for
No, they don't care. But I mean, I fell in love with some of the fan fiction. Some of the one-shots were cute.
Go ahead.
Somewhere.
This is so weird. I feel so weird talking about shipping. Anyway, we should move on.
Yeah, what about you, Grayson?
Oh, right. It's my turn next. That's right. I don't remember the entire story, but what I do remember is that when I was really, really young, I'm pretty sure I got a SNES and Genesis from my grandma, I'm pretty sure. And that came with Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Sonic 3. So obviously I fell in love with those games and played them a lot. But after a while, I kind of stopped playing them, I think. I don't know what happened. I think I got other consoles or something like that. But at one point I'm pretty sure it was Christmas or something, I got a Game Boy Advance, and along with that, Sonic Advance 3. And I was really, really young at the time, and I must not have remembered much of Sonic 1, 2, or 3, because I remember literally having to ask who Tails was. I had no idea. Like, I would go up to my parents and, like, point at Tails and be like, who's this one again? And they'd be like, Tails. It's like, oh, okay, Tails. I used to watch a lot of Sonic X, obviously, after that point, because if I watched Sonic X before, I would have known who Tails was.
I love Sonic X. It holds a special place in my heart.
It's
Man, Sonic X is probably one of those topics that's probably gonna like take up an entire hour of like a podcast. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I wish I could talk more about it, but I don't really remember anything about Sonic X.
Really? It was so
Really, it was so
iconic,
long
some
ago.
of the. Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
It
I
really
hardly
depends
remember
on-
Sonic X, just like I hardly remember Sonic Advance 3. I couldn't tell you what any of the bosses in that were because I haven't played that since the time I had it on the Game Boy Advance.
Wow.
Like a long, long time ago. At some point down the line, I had to have played Sonic Adventure for like the PC or something because I definitely remember being confused by fishing mechanics. But that's my entire memory of the subject. I don't remember
God.
anything else. I was just like, what do I do? It's confusing. I got a fishing pole, but I don't know how to use it.
I
Anyway,
actually didn't mind the fishing.
I probably wouldn't mind it if I played it now, but I obviously was too young.
Because
to really understand it.
everyone just loves seeing big. So like, who cares?
I mean, I don't really know my opinion on the fishing since last time I played Adventure was like a year ago. So
But it would be nice. It would be nice if it was just a mini game, like an outside from the from the main story.
But we gotta have big in the main story, you know?
For it would be just cutscenes. Like his role would be like mini games.
Yeah,
yeah, I wouldn't mind that actually.
that would be cool.
Anyway, at the time, I actually, cause like right now, I live in glorious Potato Land, aka Idaho. But at the time, I lived in Arizona, which was really, really hot. You can tell why we moved. And because the trip was going to be so long, my parents actually gave me a PSP along with Sonic Rivals too. And I loved that game. If I didn't 100% it, I got super close to 100%ing it. Like I played all the stories, but I don't know if I got like all the were they like cards or something? I think you could get.
Yeah, it was
I don't
cards.
know.
It was
Yeah.
cards.
The collectible.
Rivals 2 is the one with the child thing, isn't it? That I keep getting
Uh,
confused
Like,
between
like
Rivals
is it
1
like a
and
capture? Are you thinking of a capture the flag kind of thing, Chow? Because it does have that.
No, the storyline was like centered around Tao's disappearing or something.
I don't remember that because the story of that game had something to do with like resurrecting an ancient fiery evil thing. I think it was called the Ifrit or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was it.
yeah.
Man and a second Metal Sonic. Like Metal Sonic 3.0, and he looked weirdly different.
Yeah.
Although I love that version of him when I was younger.
I don't know. Like I feel like the Rivals games, like even though their story, like I guess might not have been the best, they did have like some interesting concepts, like, you know, the obvious, you know, insertion of Eggman Nega as the villain.
Yeah.
I wish we'd see more of him. I really wish we would.
But then Eggman Nega being in it screwed up the continuity again because of the Rush games and then the Rivals games. Guys, the child disappearances was Sonic Rivals 2.
There must have been some character story that I don't remember, because the ones that I really
It was
remember.
Silver's.
Silvers, okay.
Yeah.
The one I remember the most of is Shadows and Metal Sonic story, which I obviously love because that's the one time Metal Sonic really got to shine, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should see more Metal Sonic.
Yeah,
I
especially
really want
as
to.
like
My favorite, man.
if Eggman is ever like not the villain or something at some point in the future, then they really need to bring Metal Sonic back as like an anti-hero kind of thing. Like partner up with Shadow again. That would be awesome.
Actually, I don't know if it interests you, but they did something similar like similar to like along the lines of what you're saying in the Archie comics. So I mean, like if you ever want to like see something like that, it exists in the Archie comics.
I've been trying to like read the Archie comics. I thought the best place to start would be from the very beginning and just work my way towards the more modern ones. So because I'm starting at the beginning, I've literally only read up to the point where Sally's hair stopped being black.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Like comics from the 90s.
Wow.
It's like 200 something issues. It's ridiculous. And I'm only
Yeah.
like on 18.
I scraped through all of them, so it was like soap opera.
It
Before
really
the
was.
before the
was.
reboot, it was literally a soap opera.
I don't know what a
It's
soap
like-
opera is.
But I was reading him and I was like, Sonic is not meant to be in relationships left, right, and center. What are you doing?
I suppose
Yeah,
it's
that's
at least in character for him to like run away from his problems all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Sonic, I love you. Wait, where'd he go?
And he was a dick to Tails in some of the issues as well, which pissed me
Yeah.
off. So
Yeah, he really was.
yeah.
Well, the Archie comics are a whole can of worms. So
Yeah, they are.
yeah. So, do you have anything else to say, Grayson, on your
Yes, I'm only
background?
halfway through my story. Jeez. Just started talking about a bunch of random stuff about Chow or whatever. About Archie comics. But I played Sonic Rivals 2 like a whole lot on the trip over to glorious Potato Land, and I love that game to death. I don't know where my PSP is. I might still have it. I don't know. It's probably somewhere in the garage, like under millions of boxes. But when I got over to Idaho, I think I was turning like 8 or something. And for my birthday that year, I got a Wii. And at one point, I got Sonic and the Secret Rings, which at that point was my favorite Sonic game of all time. I played that a ton too.
That's a very controversial opinion, Grayson. I commend you for saying it.
Yeah, I like Sonic and the Secret Rings. I like the night stages of Sonic Unleashed. Fight me.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I like those as well. You're not the only one.
Yeah, I have a lot of unpopular opinions when it comes to the series.
Same here. Same
I
here.
don't hate Sonic Force's story. I think the game could have been better, but everyone seems to hate it, and I'm just like, it's okay, I guess. I kind of liked it.
All of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in that crowd. I really don't like the story at all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
As for unpopular opinions, I don't really. I mean, with 06, I see it as a game that had potential. I don't see it as a terrible game.
If you saw what game has potential?
Sonic 06.
Oh, yeah,
I'm cutting
definitely.
it a bit of slack.
I mean, if you got rid of all the glitches, it would be a pretty alright game.
Yeah. And the
People just
CGI
kind of
was really nice.
freaked out about the kissing scene or whatever, which I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
the motivation
I
to bring
didn't
that in,
freak
but
out.
I'm not
I
going to
didn't
start
freak out.
crying because of some weird scene in a game.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was weird, but I mean, I can still, I mean, it's not, I don't react like some other people do when I see it.
Yeah,
It
like
was really weird for me the first time I saw it. Like the main relationship between Sonic and Elise was really weird, and then Methodist being like I don't know. The story was so weird for me. I didn't like it, to be honest.
See, before they
Yeah.
before the kiss, I just saw it as a really significant friendship.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
it still
like,
kind of was. The just kind of had to happen to revive him or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's not like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like they were hooking up or anything. I don't understand why everyone freaked out.
I mean, like, the main like issue I have with '06 is mostly that, you know, I think the game is a culmination of many small issues, you know, small or
Yeah.
large, that just like they bunch together into one big, you know, like amalgamation of mediocrity. In my opinion, though, you know.
The billiard puzzle.
I haven't actually played the game.
Neither.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen it, but I don't know quite how bad it is. Is it really that bad?
Before I started,
You have to play to believe it.
I
Okay.
kind of know now because I bought the game secondhand, and I kind of know now why the person that sold it sold it.
Yeah.
Some copies don't have glitches, but my copy has glitches, unfortunately.
It might be the platform it's on.
Yeah, no, because I've got it on Xbox 360. Yeah,
What one? I don't know.
Xbox.
Version, I think.
Shall I continue with my story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I love how absolutely nobody talks during Fernando's story, but everybody talks during mine.
Oh my god. I'm so
So-
sorry.
Sorry, don't be sorry. Anything, you should be sorry for being so
No, because we
silent back
keep
then.
because we keep going off topic. And your story sounds lit, so
I mean, we're talking about our opinions on the Sonic series. It's still pretty much an introduction. People are learning about us.
yeah.
Yeah, just sort of reactionary, I guess.
But after I played Sonic and the Secret Rings to death, was kind of a long chunk of time where I didn't really care about Sonic too much. I mean, I'd play a game every once in a while, maybe, but besides that, I wasn't majorly into it until I'm pretty sure it was last year or maybe the year before. I think it was 2016 when I just happened to have heard that there was going to be a Sonic game in the style of the classic ones called Sonic Mania. I was like, wait, really? This is a thing that's going to happen? So obviously I got super excited about that. Started trying to avoid spoilers, even though they were everywhere. I wanted to go in completely unspoiled, but everybody already knew a lot of the stages that were going to be in it, and it was a disaster. I barely managed to get out without spoiling anything too major. And so I decided to do a blind playthrough of it for a YouTube channel thing, which I have on the side. So once I got done with that, I just kind of got interested in the Sonic series all of a sudden. Nothing really started it except for Sonic Mania. And after that point, I just started caring about the series again. And after talking about the series at one point or another with some random commenter online on some website or something, going back and forth about details about the story, I just kind of realized, oh, I know a lot more about this series than I thought I did. I know almost all the game's stories, at least the major ones.
All right, so what about you,
And-
Martin? What's your?
God damn it.
Oh, go ahead, Grayson.
I was just going to say, because I forgot to say this much earlier, the logo that you're probably seeing right now, don't get too attached to it because Emily's making a way better one.
Aw, thank you.
Amazing.
wait
You're
for it.
amazing.
Yeah, hand drawn to boot.
Yeah, this one is just random images from Google. Thrown
I'm
together.
gonna attempt
And
to
then
color the
text
logo.
powers.
I'm not experienced with digital art, so I'm gonna try and see if it turns out good. Hopefully it does. So yeah.
So round of applause for Emily.
Oh no.
I mean, I have a push to talk button, so I could have one hand on the button. And I can't clap with one hand. Unless I do.
Clap on your arm. I always do that.
That works.
Thank you.
That's actually picked up on the mic.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, good.
All right, so what about you, Martin? What's your background on the franchise?
Sonic. Invited at first because I was like in elementary school, like in third grade, I think, and my dad came back from a trip. He had this big giant box with Q, and I was like, wait, what is this thing? And it was like a Brothers Melee and Sonic Adventure DX. I did the Melee first because I didn't like Sonic's box art. Like the image looked kind of weird for me, kind of scary for what it was. Just look at the render of Sonic Adventure DX and it was scary. Like I didn't like it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I saw the Melee box and it was Mario, Bowser, Pikachu, and I was like, this looks better. The whole thing of Melee, and then jump back to Adventure. Great experience. Like it's still my favorite Sonic game. So good. The soundtrack, the levels, the story, like chaos itself with the emeralds. I didn't understand the story at first because it was kind of messy. Like this guy does this other one starts here. Like this.
Yeah, the
oriented
intersecting stories.
the final one. Like at first I was like, damn, hello Goku, but damn. Like Super Sonic was great when I first saw it.
Them Dragon Ball references.
Super Saiyan ripoff, but yeah, I didn't care. It was amazing that like what happened? Like something happened. Oh yeah, like Wii and Mario Galaxy came up, and I just became a Mario fanboy all of a sudden. I forgot Sonic, like all of that. Or didn't we had some kind of rivalry between which one was better between Mario or Sonic? Like all Genesis games and CD, he said he was the best thing, and I was like, no, Galaxy's better. No, play New Super Mario Brothers is so much better. Came out with Sonic Unleashed on the Wii. In love with
Sonic
that.
Unleashed.
Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah.
That's
For the
brilliant.
Damn. Was it? Yeah. Sonic Unleashed for the Wii. The story, like the CGI was like, am I watching a movie or am I playing a video game? Like
Oh my god, that CGI. Let me just say, that is like Pixar tier. I love it so much. That is my favorite cutscene in the history of cutscenes.
No, but I when I first saw it, I was like, Dad, why do you buy this? I don't play. Then I saw the cutscenes. Seen that CGI one. Damn, like I got into the game. The boost format was kind of different from the usual ones, like 3D Mario or Zelda or Kirby. So I put the Warhawk. It was really great because I never play a beat 'em up game like Kratos and God of War. When I first had the when I first had the chance to play it.
Like, did you enjoy like that formula when you played it? Like, since you hadn't played God of War before in a game like that.
What was that?
Like, did you enjoy the Warhog like formula before, like, since you didn't play God of War before?
Those games. So the Warhol was my first experience with those kind of with that gameplay. Like, I just enjoy it a lot because I never had the chance to just beat up every single enemy on screen. Experience, and with the boost formula, it was just like a really great experience in general. Then it was Chronicles, I think, into the Sonic series again. I played Chronicles. I never finished it until 3 years ago. I got really scared with the ending. Like, I saw Eggman winning in the end, and sort of ends all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was a cliffhanger ending.
Yeah.
But as a kid, imagine that. Imagine like seeing Eggman winning and what happened to Sonic, what happened to everyone.
There's this theory. This is a little bit. This is on that topic of the Chronicles ending. You just reminded me of a theory that I heard. It was that that Chronicles in the timeline. Chronicles is the game before Unleashed, and the ending where Eggman he doesn't necessarily win, but at the same time he's like getting there, and then you see like straight after that is the opening for Unleashed, because Sonic is kind of quote unquote finishing him off.
That makes sense because the ending.
I know it's treason to say that I've never played that game before, but there's a game where Eggman wins.
Yeah, the very end of Chronicles.
What?
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, yeah, you can go.
He low-key wins in Forces as well, but I mean that wasn't really executed as well as I thought it would be.
But yeah, but like it was really like I said, a cliffhanger ending. So yeah.
Yeah.
Did you sort of like escape from the another dimension? I think I can remember the story that well. They come back from another dimension, and because they left Eggman on Earth, and because time flies much longer, I think, on space, like Eggman just takes over the whole world and start outside fighting. So I can't remember who was it. Who was the guy?
Yeah, it was just some echidnas. I don't remember that much.
I can remember. The story was so weird too.
But yeah, and after Chronicles.
Yeah. After Chronicles, it was Generations. I saw Perfect Chaos in one of the trailers, and I was like, "Bro, I need to play this. I need this right now." Like seeing Perfect Chaos in HD with the boost formula, and then like wanted the game, but I didn't have an Xbox 360, so I had to wait. Like my parents could buy me one. I had to work with my dad as a slaver just to get some money to buy the game. A short experience, but it was worth it. And because I wanted to play the original ones, like Sonic 3. The first two on iOS. I had to go get a copy for my like the Sonic collection, like the S1.
Oh yeah.
The third one, yeah, but I didn't like it because it was kind of messy, like the whole game, the whole package.
Like the port was bad.
Bad, not unplayable, but it was not like the iOS ones.
Yeah, the iOS versions are like the best ones out there.
I mean, touchscreen controls.
Yeah, I guess it's a matter of preference. I mean, I got used to them.
The controls were kind of weird at first, but then you get used to it.
Hmm.
What was it? I saw colors in the trailers, but that didn't pick up my interest because I didn't like the wisp at first. They look kind of weird, like look to me. And I don't know, like that game didn't grab my attention at first. Was and I lost a chance because my we just brothers were playing so much around uh, the area where I played the Wii. Smashed sometimes my Wii console, and it ended up breaking up. The colors. Uh, Mania afterwards. Like I saw Mania and Forces trailers, and I was so hyped about those two. More more Forces because I prefer some with the Sonic series. I don't like
Oh my
the
god, same.
not like Lost War. I played that one before. Like it was just there. Just in any of the scenes or the gameplay, and I never understood the parkour systems. The tablet, like, it's so
Yeah, yeah. The parkour was like finicky. I never really like learned how to like use it properly.
it has a like it has like it can have a future. Like we can have a second one with that gameplay, but I don't think so. Like I never like it, to be honest. Then it was Mania. I saw the trailers. I saw the whole thing. The Forces ones. Really high when I saw Shadow, Metal Sonic, Chaos, and Sabbath like in the E3 trailer. That's when I my bigger than Odyssey, to be honest. And then both games came up. I love Mania. I like Forces a lot. I was disappointed with Chaos though. I really like the story. I like the Infinite. You can see it from my profile picture. I love the character. Like I heard his voice, the his his powers. I fell in love with the character, to be honest.
His theme song is so dope.
Probably the edgiest theme song out there.
Yeah,
Like a guilty pleasure for me.
gives Shadow a run for his money.
I feel like I shouldn't like that song because I generally don't like songs like that. But Infinite's theme is just amazing.
I love the chorus. That is my anthem.
Yeah.
I just like
I
the
love-
whole song.
Loved it because it was like I was just listening to Linkin Park. So
Oh my god, I love
the
that.
moment when that song came out, I was like, bro, I need to download this. I need to download it. Piracy, I don't even care. I need to download it. Just go to
Yeah.
the link and download it.
We're all pirates here.
That's not a big problem, to be honest.
There's a yeah. I could see like the similarities between like Infinite's theme and then like harkening back to those early 2000s like that rock era.
Yeah.
To like please everybody with Forces, like having the serious story and then having Shadow playable, the music sometimes, Infinite's theme, all of that.
Was there anything like beyond Forces like into like Mania Plus or anything that like piqued your interest?
What was that?
Yeah. Was there anything past Forces that like piqued your interest?
Yeah, like I I never cared for Mighty and Ray, but I like the new abilities and all of that, and I'm really hyped for the racing game that's coming up this year. The roster though and the stages.
Yeah, we should do an episode on the racing games in the future because I think
Yeah,
that's something that I like to talk about.
Yeah. I'll probably be talking about how I miss Beat.
The racing games, like all of them.
Oh, the new one that's coming up this year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the I guess all of them.
I love
At
pretty
one
much-
point, I played
All-Stars
Sonic
ones.
Riders, but it's been an eternity since then.
I miss the Babylon Rogues. Speaking of writers,
I don't remember who that is.
Jet, Wave, and Storm.
Yeah. Same now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Is Riders canon though? Like it doesn't seem to take place on.
I don't think Sega really cares anymore.
I don't think there is
Yeah, no.
a canon. I mean, the layout of the planet has just changed a billion times. They were on
I'm
Earth. They had
still-
like America. They had all the countries just
I'm
perfectly
still
laid
trying to
out,
work
and
out-
then they made the forces map.
I'm still
Speaking-
trying to work out a canon.
Speaking of canonity, the classic Sonic being in forces is probably cause like a temporal like implosion for the whole world.
Actually, I've been thinking about something. Just
Yeah?
before I mention it, what do you believe when it comes to Mania's story? Does Sonic actually go to all those places, or are they just like illusions?
I mean, I guess evidence would suggest that they are delusions, because you know they do the effect and everything, like the effect.
Great.
It did,
So
but
you're
not.
saying that Sonic never actually went to Stardust Speedway in that game?
Yeah, I mean, like, unless they clarify that in Plus, that's what I'm going with.
Because I was actually thinking, if they aren't like illusions, like if the Ruby can't just like transport Sonic to all these places, what if the reason the timeline like split, like that Sonic's like dimension, quote unquote, is a different timeline entirely now? What if that's because Sonic got a good future in Stardust Speedway, whereas the bad future is canon in the rest of the series?
Well,
That would explain some things.
I'm still mad at them for making a different timeline, because I just wish it would be him from the past, because that means that current modern Sonic would have experienced Sonic Mania, but now he hasn't. And I guess it would make sense because future Eggman told past Robotnik that he never wins, so he would like change his strategy and go for the Ruby instead or something. I'm still
Yeah.
mad at the story, but I feel like that would make a little bit more sense. Because the Stardust Speedway thing is the bad future in Sonic 4 and the bad future in Generation, but the good future in Mania.
I don't think there are two timelines because a lot. I think
It has to be, because
fuck up with us. Like
Sega retconned it. The classic Sonic and Forces is now a completely different timeline that branches out from the main one, or whatever.
those recognizes classic Sonic from the same.
Yeah, they recognize him from
Generation.
Generations.
See why he just out of nowhere said, "Oh, you're from another dimension." What?
Yeah, that is weird.
Maybe they just carelessly wrote it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with now, because I mean, they've contradicted themselves so many times throughout the games.
Two worlds.
Yeah, that's really why I don't I have some like beliefs like you said that Mania is like a delusion, I think, but I don't really theorize much on this stuff because like in the end there's no real answer because Sega doesn't have any answers either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're nearing the hour mark. So I guess does anyone else have any other remarks for like your history with the franchise in general?
I was gonna ask like what our favorite games are, if you guys want to talk about that.
Sonic Mania.
Like Adventure.
Sonic Adventure DX.
First one.
See, because
What was that,
I'd
Mark?
probably have to go. I'd probably have to go with like Unleashed or Black Knight because I'm more of a visuals person. Like I judge games based on the CGI, the art style, the story as well because I love story-based games so much.
Yeah, I'd say Black Knight is like my second favorite.
What
Black
did you
Knight
say
is
yours
so
was, Mark?
underrated.
So, Emily, do you like Force's story though?
It's okay. I mean, there are things I would improve about it, like because some fan theories were really good, and I thought that maybe a few of them would have been right, but I guess they kept it simpler than I thought, if that makes sense.
Thing because Sega doesn't want to go back to those deep stories of Adventure 2
Yeah.
and shit, but because of Sonic 06, because that game almost killed the franchise in the first place.
Yeah.
That mistake again. They just want to keep things simple, but with a story.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
Martin, what did you say your favorite game was? You had never said like the 3 times that I asked.
Sorry, Sonic Adventure 1.
Mine used to be 3, but now it's Mania. Since Mania came out. And Mania is awesome. It's just 3, but better.
What about 3D though? Do you have a favorite one?
It's been so long since I've played a 3D game, I can't really say. Some ones that I love are Generations and Secret Rings, but again, it's been an eternity since I played those. And I technically own Forces, but my computer can't run it at like more than 2 frames per second.
So Generations is far better than Forces in terms of gameplay. So
yeah, I highly agree there.
how they just love Sonic's moveset, like the combos, the light speed, like the light speed dash, the drift. There's nothing there. None of that is in Forces.
Yeah, Forces is just hallways the game.
I just don't understand how it took them 4 years to make Forces.
Did it take them 4 years?
Yeah.
I'm
did.
pretty sure Unleashed
Wow.
took 2. I'm pretty sure Unleashed took 2 years to make, and I mean, look at how that was presented.
I had that thought in my mind because when I finished the game, I was like, it didn't took 4 years. I'm sure about that. And it turns out that the Hedgehog engine 2, the new engine that they had for the Forces, took
Yeah.
2 years. 2
Oh,
years.
really?
Yeah, and 1 year for just development, like bringing out teams, like designing the story, the scenarios, all of that, and just 1 year of development, like the whole gameplay.
That was
That makes
what
a
I
lot of
was
sense.
thinking as well. They spent more time on actually working on the engine.
The Avatar took them a lot of time, but all those T-shirts and costumes, it took them a lot of resources.
Yeah.
I was kind of imagining that like all the developers were just sitting around, like doing nothing, and then like their boss comes in and says, "So are you done with the Sonic game?" And they're like, "What?"
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, that's me with my assignments. I can totally relate.
Me too.
Sonic game? I thought we were making a Mario game.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
and
Lost World.
Sadly, a lot of the people that worked on Unleashed are working with the Mario games now.
Interesting.
You can see
Yeah.
the similarities between Odyssey and Sonic, like
Yeah.
spin dash kind of thing. And the
I
new,
was so sad when I found out
yeah, it's kind of sad.
because I was like, are they going to come back?
Gonna get better paid than Sega.
Yeah. But I mean, if I think if the movie does well, they'll be able to, I don't know, afford better resources, I guess. I don't know. I kind of had this played out in my head, like, what if the movie ends up being good? What would that mean for the franchise?
That's
Yeah,
a whole
I think. Yeah, I think we should save all our thoughts on that for like the inevitable movie, episode. Yeah. All right, so thank y'all for tuning in to the Warp Ring podcast, and hope you had a good time, and take care.
Bye.
Bye.
See y'all.